So as many of you know, I've had my SS16 V-twin for about a year now. It's been a fantastic tractor. It got me through the winter with its pristine condition snowblower, and of course the V-twin is a newer engine, so it doesn't give you any trouble at all. The only trouble I had was a leaky gas tank, and that I fixed just recently here with some JB Weld. A wonderful tractor, and yes, I can say that I technically have an SS16 twin. However, it's not a real SS16 twin. So when I had the opportunity to purchase a real SS16 twin, even though I don't really need it, I've already got the Roper and the GT 19.9 and the V-twin, I decided, I'll go for it. So this is the Sears SS16 twin. I'd say a year, but I really don't know. It's hard to tell the 74, 75, and 76 model years apart. So this is all original. It's probably the cleanest Sears Suburban tractor I've owned. Didn't look that way, of course, when I got it, but I spent some time with the pressure washer, and it cleaned up nice. What originally stood out to me in the pictures that the guy sent was this hood. I mean, goodness, this hood's in nice shape. Compare it with the hood of my V-twin, which is rusty, and the hood of my Roper, which is rusting, and the hood of my GT 19.9, which is rusting in much the same way. And, this really stood out. I mean, it's definitely not in showroom condition, but for every tractor around here, this is pretty much the best Suburban I've seen. Its condition really stands out. Of course, you get the little things here, perhaps some battery acid leaked down there and damaged the paint. You can see there, and of course, rusting along these parts is common. The gas tank isn't in the best shape because, of course, the paint wears off over the years and you spill fuel on it. Seat is the original seat, actually, but it's in awful shape, and it's a bum soaker, big time bum soaker. So I'll replace that eventually when I get around to it. A nice tractor deserves a nice seat. Moving on. Of course, it has the infamous Onan BFMS twin, 40.3 cubic inches. As Hugh pointed out. Splash lube, and it's got the fuel pump on the carburetor. This engine runs. Had some starter issues when I went to see the tractor. The starter wouldn't really engage unless you whacked it with the blunt end of a hammer. Not that good, and it also smokes a little. I'll show you guys later when I start this thing up. The battery's from 2006. The oil was dirty and below the add line, so I was tinkering around with it tonight, and I just decided to change it with some spare 30 weight that I had, and it's worked out good. I didn't want to mess with the breaker points too much, and it seems to honestly run better and better the more I play with it. It's still got the original fiber float in that carburetor, so I don't think I'll do the brass float upgrade until it actually goes on me. The transaxle is whisper quiet. The brake is very much in working condition, and the dashboard is spotless. Take a look at that. I think the headlights must have been rewired at some point because there's no fuse in there. I don't know whether there should be, but there's certainly one in my SS16. Before I get too sidetracked, I should mention the attachments that it came with. So you have the, from what I've told, moderately rare Sears Suburban cultivator with 5 rippers and 1 seized disc. This is the one that moves. The other one is seized. You have a spotless working 48-inch mower deck. This is the 3rd one I've owned. It seems 48-inch decks are more common here than the 42 ones. So it also came with this Sears rotospader here. This is the original Sears rotospader. It's even in the same color as the tractor. No belt guards, so you have to thread the belts every time you want to start it because there's no real way to safely disengage the tines. And the last time I tried to fire this thing up, well, it shocked me. I couldn't shut it down, and so I had to pull the spark plug wire, and of course it grounded out to me. Wasn't very happy with that, but oh well, it won't kill you. It seems to be in nice shape, though. It runs pretty good, and it cleaned up very well. So I'm looking forward to using it, and I think I'll sell it somewhere down the road because I don't need it. I already have the Roper rototiller, and on top of that, I don't really use tractor-mounted rototiller. And of course, given that it had a lot of 3-point implements, it also came with this manual 3-point hitch. Now I have a nice manual 3-point hitch to complement my electric 3-point hitch, and I've got it on the Roper because I have the Roper set up with the tote box and everything for my utilities. So, you know, you got the top link as well, and this big long handle, which actually lifts the tiller surprisingly well. I mean, my previous impression was it was virtually impossible to lift a tiller with that kind of handle, but it's doable for sure. It does it. I had to adjust it a bit so it doesn't bump into the fender of this Roper, but it's nice. I like having a manual 3-point hitch, and it works a lot better with implements like the cultivator and plow, so I'm looking forward to using it. So now I'll start it up and show you guys the engine, run it around. Hopefully the starter works. Like I said, it's been iffy, and I'll show you the noises that it makes, because as you guys know, I am paranoid about rod knocks and stuff like that. It doesn't really need choke. There we go. Good, good, good. So, before I go driving it, just get an idea of how the engine sounds. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Doesn't really want to cooperate with me in this video. So there's that knock. And as you know, I'm kind of worried about knocks. The oil level was below the add line when I got the tractor, so hopefully they didn't damage the engine. And I'd better actually get some throttle on it before it stalls on me. Once it's warm, it doesn't really smoke that much, so I'm not concerned about it. It seems to be misfiring a bit, or running too rich in that engine. Yeah, you can see it smokes a bit when you get on the throttle. We'll take it for a spin, third high. There we go. Around the yard. It drives very nice. I'm really actually quite surprised that the engine is the way it is for such a, what would otherwise seem as a very low-hour tractor. But so far I'm very pleased with it. Original purchase price was $615, but after the poor performance of the tractor, and the rototiller not running, the rototiller wasn't running when I got it, I haggled them down to $570. So $570 was the final purchase price for this tractor. We'll put her in neutral here. Oh, I probably shouldn't have throttled it down. Yeah, as you can see, there's that knock. I'm pretty much I'm not going to judge on that knock. I'll let YouTube judge for me. So if you guys could weigh in on that sound that the Onan engine is making, is that normal for a BFMS? Is that a rod knock? I really don't know. So as you saw, I turned the lights on. The lights in this tractor work like magic. There's the back one. Just like my other twin, the lights in this tractor work awesome. I love the Suburban taillight. Take a look at that. So anyway, time to turn this sucker off. Yeah, weigh in on what you think that knock is, and whether I need to be concerned about it. You know, I'd hate to have to rebuild another Onan because I'm already planning on rebuilding my N52M, but if it needs it, so be it. But I'm really pleased with this find, and I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I doubt I'll be doing much work with this thing in the wake of the fact that the engine is in poor condition and seems to be on the verge of grenading itself. But it's a really nice find anyway, and I think I might mow with the 42-inch deck on this thing, and put the 48-inch that came with it on the V-twin. I don't think I'll use it in the winter for snow blowing, and there's no need to use it for plowing or cultivating when I have roper, and that works out nice. So anyway, before I make this video too long, good night YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed this. See you.